Looking for the best bang-for-your-buck TV? TCL has done it again, delivering jaw-dropping visuals, smart features, and prices that won't break the bank. In this video, we're counting down the top 5 TCL TVs. From budget-friendly 4K beasts to QLED stunners built for gamers and binge-watchers alike. Whether you're upgrading your setup or building a home theater from scratch, this list has something for every screen lover. And if you see one you love, I've dropped updated links with the best pricing in the description below. Alright, let's kick things off with our number 5 pick, the TCL Q6 QLED 4K. Now, if you're looking for QLED technology without breaking the bank, this is your sweet spot. We're talking about a TV that typically runs around $449 for the 55-inch model, which honestly is pretty incredible when you consider what you're getting here. The quantum dot technology gives you those vibrant colors that pop off the screen, and the 4K resolution is crisp enough to make your Netflix binges look absolutely gorgeous. What I really love about the Q6 is how it handles both dark and bright scenes. The local dimming zones aren't as extensive as the higher-end models, but for this price point, you're still getting decent contrast that makes movie night feel cinematic. Gaming performance is solid too. We're looking at a 60 Hz refresh rate with variable refresh rate support, so your PS5 or Xbox Series X games will look smooth. The Google TV interface is snappy and intuitive, plus you get all your favorite streaming apps right out of the box. Here's the thing though, while the Q6 is fantastic for the money, you'll notice the peak brightness isn't quite as impressive as pricier models. It hits around 450 nits, which is totally fine for most rooms. But if you've got a really bright living room with lots of windows, you might find yourself squinting a bit during daytime viewing. Still, for under $500, this is hands down one of the best QLED experiences you can get. And TCL's build quality has really stepped up their game in recent years. Coming in at number 4, we've got the TCL QM7 Mini LED 4K. And folks, this is where things start getting really interesting. Priced around $799 for the 65-inch model, the QM7 is what I like to call the Goldilocks TV. It's not too expensive, not too basic, but just right for most people. The Mini LED backlighting is the real star here, giving you way more precise control over brightness and darkness compared to traditional LED TVs. We're talking about hundreds of local dimming zones that make HDR content absolutely stunning. The picture quality on this thing is seriously impressive. Colors are vibrant thanks to the quantum dot technology, and the peak brightness reaches around 1000 nits, which means your HDR movies are going to look the way directors intended them to. I tested this with some 4K HDR content on Disney+, and the contrast between the dark space scenes and bright explosions was just chef's kiss. Gaming is where this TV really shines too. 120 Hz refresh rate with HDMI 2.1 support means your gaming sessions are going to be buttery smooth, whether you're into competitive shooters or exploring massive open worlds. What sets the QM7 apart from cheaper options is the attention to detail in motion handling and upscaling. Even your old 1080p content looks surprisingly good thanks to TCL's AI-powered upscaling technology. The Smart TV experience runs on Google TV, which I personally prefer over some other interfaces because it actually learns what you like to watch and suggests relevant content. My only minor gripe is that the design is pretty standard. It's not ugly by any means, but it won't be the centerpiece of your living room decor. But honestly, at this price point, the performance more than makes up for the understated looks. At number 3, we have the TCL S-Class S5 4K. And if you're someone who lives and breathes streaming content, this TV was basically made for you. Coming in at around $329 for the 50-inch model, the S5 proves that you don't need to spend a fortune to get a great streaming experience. What makes this TV special isn't necessarily the most advanced display technology, but rather how perfectly it's optimized for Netflix, Prime Video, Disney+, and all your other favorite streaming services. The Google TV platform here is lightning fast, and I mean seriously responsive. No more waiting around for apps to load or dealing with laggy interfaces. The 4K upscaling on the S5 is genuinely impressive for this price range. Most of the content we stream isn't actually native 4K, so having a TV that can intelligently upscale 1080p content makes a huge difference in your daily viewing experience. The colors are well balanced and natural looking, which is perfect for binge-watching everything from documentaries to comedies. HDR support includes HDR10 and Dolby Vision, so when you do find that premium 4K HDR content, it's going to look fantastic. The audio quality is surprisingly decent too. While I'd still recommend a soundbar for the full experience, the built-in speakers won't leave you reaching for the volume constantly. Now let's be real about what you're getting at this price point. The S5 isn't going to blow you away with peak brightness or have the deepest blacks you've ever seen, but that's not really the point. This TV excels at delivering consistent, reliable performance for everyday streaming. The interface is intuitive. The remote is actually well designed, thank goodness. And setup is virtually plug and play. If you're not a hardcore movie buff or serious gamer, but you want a reliable 4K TV that makes your streaming content look great without any fuss, the S5 is honestly hard to beat. It's the kind of TV that just works, day in and day out. Number 2 on our list is the powerhouse TCL QM8 Mini LED QLED. And wow, this TV is seriously impressive. At around $1,299 for the 65-inch model, we're definitely stepping into premium territory. But the performance you get absolutely justifies the price jump. The Mini LED technology here is next-level stuff. We're talking about over 1,000 local dimming zones that give you incredible contrast control. When I first fired up some HDR content, I literally had to adjust my eyes because the bright highlights and deep blacks were so dramatically different from what I was used to. The peak brightness hits around 2,000 nits, which means this TV can get seriously bright without washing out the colors. Gaming on the QM8 is an absolute dream. The 144 Hz refresh rate with full HDMI 2.1 support means whether you're gaming on PC, PlayStation 5, or Xbox Series X, everything feels incredibly responsive and smooth. Variable refresh rate and auto low latency mode work flawlessly, so you won't experience any of that annoying screen tearing or input lag that can ruin competitive gaming sessions. The quantum dot color technology produces some of the most accurate and vibrant colors I've seen at this price point. Watching nature documentaries or animated movies is almost like looking through a window. The Dolby Vision and HDR10+ support means you're getting the premium HDR experience that really makes your content shine. What really sets the QM8 apart is the build quality and attention to detail. The design is sleek and modern without being flashy, and the thin bezels make the screen feel larger than it actually is. The Google TV interface is snappy and responsive. Plus, TCL has done a great job with their picture processing algorithms. Motion is smooth, upscaling is excellent, and the TV automatically adjusts settings based on what type of content you're watching. My only real complaint is that at maximum brightness, the TV can get quite warm and the fan noise becomes noticeable in quiet scenes. But honestly, for most viewing scenarios, you won't need to push it to those extreme levels. This TV delivers premium performance that rivals much more expensive options from other brands. And here we are at number 1. The absolutely stunning TCL X11 HQD Mini LED 8K. At $2,499 for the 65-inch model, this is definitely an investment. But if you want the absolute best that TCL has to offer, this is it. The 8K resolution combined with quantum dot mini LED technology creates a viewing experience that's honestly hard to describe until you see it in person. The level of detail and clarity is almost overwhelming at first. You'll find yourself noticing things in movies and shows that you never saw before. The peak brightness reaches an incredible 3,000 nits, which means HDR content doesn't just look good, it looks exactly the way filmmakers intended, with highlights that actually feel bright and shadows that have real depth. The mini LED backlighting system in the X11H is absolutely cutting edge, with over 2,000 local dimming zones that provide pixel-level precision for contrast control. Watching something like a space movie where you have bright stars against the darkness of space is just breathtaking. There's no blooming or haloing around bright objects like you might see on cheaper TVs. Gaming performance is world-class too, with 144 Hz refresh rate, full HDMI 2.1 support, and incredibly low input lag. Whether you're playing fast-paced shooters or enjoying cinematic single-player games, everything looks and feels absolutely premium. The upscaling technology is so good that even 1080p content looks surprisingly detailed on this 8K panel. What makes the X11H truly special is how it handles motion and color accuracy. TCL's picture processing has reached a level where motion looks natural and film-like, without that weird soap opera effect that some TVs struggle with. The quantum dot technology delivers colors that are not just vibrant, but incredibly accurate. This is the kind of TV that content creators would use for color grading work. The Google TV interface is buttery smooth, and the overall build quality feels absolutely premium with a sleek, minimalist design that looks gorgeous in any room. Yes, it's expensive, but when you consider the technology packed into this TV and the viewing experience it delivers, the X11H represents the pinnacle of what's possible in consumer television technology right now.